Today, my guest is Shams Mammadli. She is author of this wonderful book for kids. But before we talk about the book, I would like to ask you, Shams, just introduce yourself and to tell us in a couple of sentences what was your professional life before you became mother and before you became author of this book.
Thank you, Leila. Thank you so much for having me, for the opportunity to talk about the Passion Project. So before the book, before the motherhood, I was working for Intel as a senior financial analyst. So I'm a finance professional. Basically, what I do is I tell the story behind the numbers.
Amazing, interesting. Yeah, and how the idea of writing the book started.
So when I was pregnant, Parviz and I, my husband and I, we talked about the language we want to teach Fidan, and it was a no-brainer that we wanted her to speak Azerbaijani because she's going to go to American school and will speak English anyways. So that's when I started searching for books on Amazon. And unfortunately, I couldn't find any in Azerbaijani. So I reached out to family and friends back in Azerbaijan saying, hey, can you send me some children's books? And the ones that they sent me either was a poor quality, thin paper, or the content wasn't what I was looking for. So that's when I realized, okay, there's a gap, there's an opportunity, and I can take advantage of that.
Yeah, that's
So
great
that's
message. If you can't find something, just create it. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. And it felt so right. I was so excited because, as a first-time mom, I was full of these emotions and love and all other, different feelings and emotions. There's so much going on when you just become a mom, right? So it felt right to put it into paper and create a book.
Okay, so and what I love about this book that it's written in the format of love letter to your daughter. So where
Right.
this idea came from?
Good question. So, I created this email address for Fidan, and the intention is that I'm going to send a love letter every year on her birthday. And when she's older, I'm going to present it to her, and she can have, real time letters from me. And, we were talking to you too, and I was searching for the topic. Um, and it had to be something simple, it had to be something beneficial. And I did the market research, and it showed that many parents are interested in emotions, like books about emotions for kids. So that's when I had the aha moment, thinking, okay, I could turn this love letter into a book.
Yeah, great. And apart from kind of dedicating it to your daughter, were there any other objectives you were trying to achieve? And have you achieved this, what you were
Mhm.
intended to?
For sure, many objectives, and I guess one of them is promoting early reading to kids
Okay.
because there are so many, benefits like brain development, emotional development, language development, bonding, and so much more. So I think one of my biggest goals is to promote early reading because some people were making fun, like my mom was saying, you're starting to read too early. She doesn't understand. I'm like, no, they do understand. The earlier you start, the better. And I think that's why Fidan now can see a book and she's gonna grab it. She's gonna bring it to me, saying, "Hey, let's read it together." I'm like, "Oh wow, okay, it did really work."
Yeah, amazing. And what were some of the biggest challenges when publishing the book? Someone told me that writing the book is difficult, but it's not that difficult as publishing a book.
Oh yeah, that someone is so right. When you think about publishing a book, you think about the topic and writing part, but I think it's all the other parts that you didn't think about in the beginning that is so challenging. It's like finding the supplier and shipping and marketing and sales channels, all that. But I think my biggest challenge was the making it available in Azerbaijan part, because the shipping turned out to be so expensive, and no matter how many different transportation methods I researched, and it turned out to be a huge challenge to make it available in Azerbaijan.
Yeah, so we both have a really good network of Azerbaijanis in US. So probably we can ask some of the friends every time they go to Baku to pick some of the books and take in there. So to be creative about that. Yeah. So
Right.
another thing, I mean, I love the book. I love everything about this book. But what I really like that it is bilingual. Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you managed to keep how to say the essence of the book in both languages?
Yes, I think we did a very good job there, because I had an editor in both languages, both English and Azerbaijani editor. And right from the start, they both knew this is a bilingual book. So whenever they pushed me to change some of the context, I would push back and say, hey, let's keep in mind that this is a bilingual book and we want to preserve the meaning in both languages. So I think having those editors and setting the expectation from the beginning really helped to do that.
Yeah, great. And as Azerbaijani living in the US for many years, Azerbaijani American, yeah, I think this is how you are called. And so, do you see the difference in reading culture between these two countries?
Oh, absolutely, I do. Um, I think in Azerbaijan, especially for children's books, right? Parents value more hard skills. Like they want to teach, I don't know, math or like some hard skills, right? But in US, I believe parents really do value the soft skills. Like, is this book going to teach emotions and communication? And I really see the difference in that. Because in Azerbaijan, when a parent pays for a book, she or he wants to make sure they can ask questions and they learn something right away. But in American culture, for kids' books, it's more like, okay, did it teach you something that is going to help you to become independent in the future? And another probably cultural difference that I see is what I love about American like book culture, reading culture, is that um, I first experienced it when I was an exchange student. So we were about to graduate from high school, and my friend's family, they gifted her a children's book. It had something like you can become anything you want. It was a children's book, but they all signed it and they presented to her. And I think that became such a sentimental, gift that she's gonna carry for years and maybe have her children, you know, um, pass on to her children. So I think that American culture of gifting books, and sometimes it's children's book to adults, is something I love here.
This is very interesting observation. And let me ask you, were there any moments while you were creating this book when you were thinking about quitting? And what kept you going?
I did. I definitely did. I certainly did. One of the moments was the shipping part to Azerbaijan, when I realized that I'm not going to be able to make it available in Azerbaijan. I was like, okay, why did I start all this? But then I kept going back to my why and thinking, okay, this book was dedicated to my daughter, and I'm going to make it available in US. And as for Azerbaijan, you never know. Maybe I will find a solution in the future, and we'll make it available in Azerbaijan too.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure you will. And again, I think your network will help you with that, hopefully. But now that you've completed this book, what are your plans? Are you planning to continue with this creative path So as you said, you're a number person, but now you are an author as well, and I would say that really good author. And
Thank you.
so what are your creative plans?
I actually do have another plan. I'm afraid to share it with you because the next thing I know, you're going to ask me questions and hold me accountable, and I'm doing it, you know?
Yeah, always believe in actions. Yes.
Right. Jokes aside, so I do have another project in mind. I would love to create a book for special kids, for kids with special needs. And I don't think there are many books from our local Azerbaijani authors about that topic, if there's any. So yeah, that's one thing I have in mind, to create a book for kids with special needs.
Yeah, that's really a great project. And yes, going to the action, I'm already thinking about wonderful ladies in Baku who can be very helpful with this. And I hope this. I'm not hope. I don't hope. I'm sure that this project will be live, and probably our next interview with you will be about your new project. Thank you so much, Shams. Thank you for your time. And I'm going to Baku soon. And what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to order more copies of this book and giving them as a present to my friends in Baku who have small kids. And yeah, so that's an amazing project. Thank you for writing it, for creating this book, and thank you for being with me today.
You are so sweet. Thank you so much, Leila. And I want to thank you. I want to take this chance and thank you so much, because I came to you with the idea, but I had no idea where to start. And you kind of divided into, non-scary actions, because I just became a mom and I was a mess. But you really helped. And whenever I felt stuck, I knew that I can come to Leila, and somehow magically she's gonna help me out, and I'm gonna carry on. So thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.